Well, greetings to you. I can't believe I'm actually going back to this after all this time, Brexit. I just sort of want to clear up a few things because I'm having to listen on certain TV programmes. Some absolute rubbish being talked about Brexit. They're saying, oh, goodness me, it's been a disaster, it's been a car crash, and we didn't get this, and we were lied to, and we didn't get the other things, and so on, so it goes on. Let me just remind everybody, please, what actually happened. We're now round about 10 years on from the referendum, which I worked very hard to get, and so did many other people on the streets, delivering leaflets and all the rest of it. And we got the referendum. We won the referendum in the teeth of government misspending and hostility and press and mainstream media, legacy media hostility. We won through. The ordinary people won through. Now, I did actually say at the time, it was on American television, funnily enough, but it doesn't matter, the point was made. It's on my website somewhere, interview with the Mises Institute. I said, we won't get it. We won't get it. This was before the referendum. I said, even if we win the referendum, we won't get Brexit. It's pure Hotel California. You can check out, but you can't leave. And of course, that's been proved in spades. The civil service who negotiated our exit, and there shouldn't have been any negotiation at all. Didn't need negotiating. We leaved and we should. That's it. That's the end of that. We go. But it was fraudulently dealt with by the civil service. Of course, as we all know, were deeply, deeply hostile to Brexit. The House of Parliament, the Commons was hostile to Brexit. The Lords were hostile to Brexit. In fact, the entire British establishment was hostile to Brexit. It was only ordinary people, the butcher, the baker, the sparky, the cabbie, who voted against it because it had affected their lives with its mountainous rules and regulations, which was doing nobody any good and was holding back the economy. Plus the fact, of course, there were also those, I was one of them included, that it didn't matter to me too much about the economic side of it, which was neither here nor there, because only a very small percentage of our economy was involved with the European Union. Most of it's actually what goes on in your local town, what goes on in your local business, so on and so forth. That was a little bit of nonsense anyway. But leaving that aside, I wanted to get back to self-government. I wanted to get back to the country being run by our elected representatives in Parliament. Ghastly and hopeless though we all know they are and always have been, certainly for 30, 40, 50 years. That's not the point. At least we can kick them out. I didn't want to be ruled by unelected bureaucrats in Brussels and Strasbourg. And with all the chicanery and the cheating and the lying that went on out there, and I know, believe me, I was out there for 10 years. Your average sort of talk show host chappie hasn't a bloody clue what was going on out there. He just thinks it was a wonderful, broadly speaking, wonderful idea, but he didn't understand it, how much it cost and how much damage it was doing to us. Now, let's just focus on this for 1 minute. What actually happened when we won the referendum? We withdrew our commissioner and our members of the European Parliament. That's what actually happened. Nothing else happened. We haven't rescinded a single piece of legislation that came from the European Union, and my God, you counted them in thousands. 2,000 a year in my career, my political career as well. It was quite fascinating. 2,000 pieces of legislation came in without any form of cost-benefit analysis or debate into our legal system every year while I was there. So that was 10 years at 2,000 a year. We haven't rescinded a single one. We're still living with stupid, petty rules. So we didn't get it. All we did was we just took away our representation. So the youngsters now, they seem quite young to me, talking a lot of nonsense, hosting TV programs, stuff like that, saying it's been a car crash, all this was absolute nonsense. Because we didn't get all the advantages that we should have had. And I said that we would have, and we should have if we'd left. That's what should have happened. We should have got rid of all the regulations. We were going to have free ports. We were going to have places like Hull, Liverpool, places like this as free ports. We were going to really reduce regulation. We were going to save billions of pounds that we had to send. We're still sending the money, incidentally. There's all sorts of reasons, and wonderful reasons why we have to keep sending the money. Never mind the hundreds of millions of pounds that we actually sent to the French to stop the boats coming. That went well, didn't it? So the whole thing's a lot of nonsense. And even now, I think if we had a referendum to go back in again, it would still lose. And it wouldn't make any difference. So these are the problems that we have. So don't let anybody tell you that somehow Brexit failed. We didn't get it. We didn't get Brexit. So don't start saying it's failed. It was sabotaged by the civil service, and all the other people had something to do with it. And my local MP, David Davis, was relieved of command when he was trying to negotiate it, and was taken over. It was taken over. His place was taken over by a Remainer civil servant. And he told me all about it in confidence at the time, but I don't think there's any need to stay in confidence now after all this time, after 10 years. And of course, now we look across, do we not, at the collapse of French society, the collapse of Spanish society, the collapse of the German economy. Really isn't very much to rejoin. It's a shambles. It's a complete and total shambles. So we don't really want to recommit ourselves to a ship which is sinking, hold below the waterline. The whole thing's been a dog's breakfast, and it's a great shame because it's an opportunity missed, and the Conservative Party missed it. The Conservative Party buggered up the whole thing, and it's a great shame. And crooks like Boris Johnson, all the rest of it, and that funny little chap whose name I keep forgetting, Gow or something like that, funny little guy with the spectacles, looks like a gnome. We didn't get it, and it's an opportunity missed. We could have been a sort of Singapore, if you will. We could have been a really go-ahead organisation. UK PLC could have been a really, really useful thing. But of course, now we've got net zero, we've got all these other things, of course, which is actually killing the economy. Maybe it's gone too far. Maybe we can't get it back. Maybe we just can't get it back. Maybe we've just disappeared without trace, like the Hittites. And it's a great shame, considering what a great nation we are and what a great nation we have been. And we were, believe me, we were a great nation. Mistakes were made by and by, but yeah, we're a great nation. No, there we are. So if you're going to be in any debate in the pub, or you're listening to TV presenters and all the rest of it say it was a car crash and it hasn't worked, just remember, we didn't bloody well get it. As most of you know, my work is very heavily independently research based. And I get my information from all over the world. It would help if you press the subscribe button and the little bell next to it, because the more subscribers I have, the more likely it is that international independent research institutes will share their material with me. It's most helpful, and then of course I'll automatically share it with you. So, surprise, won't cost you anything. Thank you very much.